The city of Rio de Janeiro, with its evocative name, brings to mind golden sand beaches populated by sun-kissed bodies by day and the passion of the samba by night. When you're done touring the sights, hit the beach and then head out in the evening for first-class dining, to see a football game or to enjoy the nightlife. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 rated tourist attractions in Rio de Janeiro. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more awesome travel guides, and make sure you hit the notification bell so that you know when we publish a new video. So now let's cut to the chase. At 10, São Bento. On the hill just above the harbour are the church and monastery of São Bento, one of the first Benedictine complexes in Brazil. The original 1617 church was without aisles until it was enlarged in the second half of the 17th century by the addition of 8 side chapels. The finest artists of the Benedictine order were involved in decorating the interior. The exuberant carving that covers the walls and ceiling was mainly the work of a monk named Domingos de Conceição, who was also responsible for the figures of Saint Benedict and Saint Scholastica on the high altar. The choir chapel has silverwork by Mestre Valentim and 14 paintings by Ricardo do Pilar, a monk who was the foremost Benedictine painter of colonial Brazil. His masterpiece, Senhor dos Martírios, is in the sacristy of the monastery. Next up at 9, Maracanã. A must-see for football or soccer fans when a game is scheduled, Brazil's largest stadium was home to the opening and closing ceremonies of the 2016 Summer Olympic Games. It was completely renovated for the FIFA World Cup 2014 and holds more than 78,000 fans. The stadium is used for matches between Rio's major football clubs, the Flamengo, Botafogo, Fluminense and Vasco da Gama, as well as for concerts. The brief tour would be of interest to avid fans, but others should give it a miss. The shore of Lagoa Rodrigues de Freitas near Copacabana and Ipanema, where many other Olympic events took place, is lined by parks and sports clubs, and its waters are popular for regattas and other water sports. Next up at 8, Prainha Beach, Little Beach. If you have visited the beaches of Copacabana and Ipanema and still crave more, but at the same time are looking for something a bit different, take the 20-kilometer jaunt down to Prainha. Where the rainforest meets the ocean, this beach is more natural than the ones in the heart of Rio. Golden sands and large round boulders are lapped by the sea, and finding your own patch of sand to soak up the sun is never an issue. If you like to surf, this is the place to do it. Nice right and left brakes provide consistent rides in May, then flatten out until September. And now at 7, Jardim Botânico, Botanical Garden. If you've had enough of the urban beat of Rio de Janeiro and crave a bit of nature, take a trip over to the Botanical Gardens. The wide trails under the canopy of green are well maintained and provide an oasis of calm and a pleasant change from the concrete jungle nearby. A highlight is Alea Barbosa Rodrigues, a wonderful wide walkway lined on both sides by towering royal palm trees with the famous Fountain of the Muses in the middle. Near the fountain is a giant kapok tree. The gardens are a UNESCO World Biosphere Site and are home to over 8,000 species of plant life. Trails are well marked in English, and be sure to follow the signs to both the Orchidarium, an iron and glass greenhouse built in the 1930s, and the Japanese gardens. Note that an admission fee is charged to enter, and at the time of recording only cash was accepted. At 6, Escadaria Selaraón. A fun distraction when visiting Rio is the Selaraón steps. Colourful stairs wind their way up a steep incline, each decorated with an assortment of tiles. Work on the stairs began in 1983 by Jorge Selaraón, who collected tile cast-offs and affixed them to the dilapidated staircase running outside his home. Until his suspicious death in 2013, the somewhat eccentric artist kept adding, replacing and repairing the tiles on stairs in the colours of the Brazilian flag and the tiles on the edges of the staircase in red. The stairs are exceptionally photogenic and attract large crowds during the day. If you want to get the iconic shot with the staircase name, those tiles are near the bottom of the 125-metre high staircase. Be sure to walk to the top of the stairs to get a feel for the amount of work Selaraón put into this monument. Small restaurants and shops selling cold beverages line the stairs. A good stop is a small restaurant at the top. It has a shady patio, a bit of a breeze, decent food, is well priced, and provides good views of the stairs and a bit of downtown Rio. The area around the stairs is a bit gritty, some call it bohemian. I wouldn't recommend venturing too far away from the stairs, and I wouldn't come here at night. Okay, next up at 5, Carnival. Carnival is the biggest event of the year on the city's calendar. The festival brings a riot of colour and endless action to the streets of Rio each February, sometimes late January depending on the year. Some visitors plan their entire trip to Brazil around Carnival, and if you are going to attend, you need to do some serious advanced planning. The celebrations begin shortly after New Year, but the splendour and extravagance reaches its spectacular climax in the 4 days before Ash Wednesday, attracting hundreds of thousands of spectators to its street parades, samba parties and shows. Other Brazilian cities celebrate Carnival. It is also a major tourist event in Bahia and Recife, but Rio's is the most lavish. The most spectacular events are the parades of the samba schools, which are held in a unique venue designed by renowned Brazilian architect Oscar Niemeyer. The Sambadromo is a long parade route lined by stadium-style boxes designed so that up to 90,000 spectators can watch the parades of brilliantly costumed dancers as they compete. The parade route is 700 metres long and 13 metres wide. It was first used in 1984 and updated as a venue for the 2016 Olympic Games. At 4, Ipanema. Continuing on westward from Copacabana's 4-kilometre strand, the beaches of Ipanema and Leblon are separated by the Jardim de Alá Canal, which drains the lagoon, Lagoa Rodrigues de Freitas. Along the seafront promenade are large hotels, sidewalk cafes and restaurants. These two districts, although best known for their beaches, one of which was made world famous by the song The Girl from Ipanema, have a lively cultural life with art galleries, cinemas and an avant-garde theatre. Praça de Quental in Leblon is the scene of an antiques market every Sunday, and Praça General Osorio hosts the Sunday Feira de Artesanato de Ipanema, featuring crafts, music, art and local foods. Next up at 3, my favourite, Copacabana. This 2.5-mile stretch of golden sand is synonymous with Rio de Janeiro. Packed with people on warm summer weekends and throughout the Christmas holidays, it's a lively and fun scene, and the beach where people from all walks of life come for sun, surf and fun. The beach is wide, so be prepared for a significant walk to the water's edge. The water is refreshingly cool and the waves can be surprisingly large depending on the day. Rio does a good job of keeping people on the beach safe. Don't be surprised if you see a red helicopter doing water rescues if the surf is up. Chairs and umbrellas can be rented for a reasonable fee from organised beach service operators who also provide cold drinks and meals. They also provide free showers. Back from the beach is a wide walkway with black and white stones called cadastrais arranged in a decorative pattern. Here you'll also find beachside restaurants and, in the evening, vendors selling all manner of handicrafts and souvenirs. At the far northern end of the beach are restaurants, many with live music, clustered under the large headland. Be sure to plan to come here in the early evening. It is an excellent spot to enjoy the sunset with expansive views of the beach. If you can tear yourself from your towel, the early 18th century Fort Copacabana and Military Museum at the south end of the beach is worth a look. Oh, a note. The mood on Copacabana Beach varies. It's generally very family-oriented on weekends and holidays during the day. Night on the beach can be rowdy at times, especially on holidays in the late evening. Normal weekdays are much quieter. Be sure to catch a machilao or iced tea as well. Next up at 2, Sugarloaf. It's hard to imagine a more perfectly placed mountain than Sugarloaf. Just slightly offshore from mainland Rio de Janeiro, this towering monolith provides sweeping views of the city and across to Christ the Redeemer. At the top you'll find multiple viewing platforms, most of which are protected from the punishing equatorial sun. Views also extend to Rio's famed harbour with the Ponte Press. Costa e Silva Bridge in the foreground and back towards Copacabana and Christ the Redeemer. The ride to the top of Sugarloaf Mountain is via a scenic 2-stage cable car ride. Don't be distracted by the first stopping area with its shopping mall. The best views are from the top. As you exit the first station, just keep walking to your left and you'll eventually find the second station. The ride up from here is stunning. Keep an eye out below for mountain climbers ascending the sheer face of the mountain. As with Christ the Redeemer, lines can be long, so book your tickets in advance. You can book for specific days, but not times. The best option, if you don't mind paying a little more, is to buy the VIP ticket, which allows you to skip the lines on the way up and down. Surprisingly, you need to show your ticket to get down. This is an excellent investment. The attraction is also known as Pau do Açúcar when searching for the drop-off point using Uber. That's Sugarloaf Mountain in Portuguese. And finally, at number 1, it is Christ the Redeemer, Cristo Redentor. Towering over the city with its welcoming arms, the Christ the Redeemer statue is the iconic symbol of Rio de Janeiro, and it's something you must visit while you're here. Set atop 709-meter-high Corcovado Mountain, this monument has been watching over the city for nearly 100 years. Views from the deck below the 30-meter-high monument out over the city, ocean and surrounding mountains are incredible on a clear day. For the famous shot of yourself in front of the statue, walk about halfway down the stairs to the lower deck and shoot backward toward the statue. Viewing Christ the Redeemer isn't all about views and selfies. The ride up to the top on the incline railway is half the fun. Ascending through the lush jungle, the steep ride to the top takes about 20 minutes and provides beautiful views. Visiting Christ the Redeemer is one of the most popular things to do in Rio de Janeiro, with over 800,000 people visiting annually. Be prepared for crowds at the top. To avoid long queues for the train, book your tickets in advance online and select a time. Another option for getting to the top is taking a van ride, which is cheaper but far less scenic and enjoyable. The best time to visit is early in the day, as the statue can become foggy as the day progresses. Oh, and note, the former restaurant at the top is permanently closed. The only food and drink option is a small snack bar, although there are plenty of places to buy souvenirs. And there you have the top 10 rated tourist attractions in Rio de Janeiro, my favorite city. Did you like what you saw? Let us know in the comments down below. Share this video with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fantastic travel guides. See you next time.